Hi. Hi. Hello. I'm Lisel. Welcome to my channel, Forced Media. Absolutely delighted that you've managed to find me and be here. That is very exciting and delightful, as this is all a very new venture for me. However, look at how much better I am talking to the camera. Like, look at those leaps and bounds. It has been, what, maybe a month, and already I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just talking away to a camera. It doesn't mean that it's all where it needs to be, but I can feel the growth. Feel the growth inside of me. That sounds sensual, but it's not, but it could be. Itchiness. I'm sitting here in like kind of a, you know when you're like really hot, so you're sweating, but then you sweat and that makes you cold? I guess that's a cold sweat. I guess that I'm sitting here in cold sweat. The reason being is that everything is launching. I feel like, all these things that I have had the idea to launch and do for the next, what am I trying to say? Because I am working on just being a better vlogger, and so this is one of those times where I was like, this is happening to me. This is when you vlog. This is when you share those moments of like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, but I'm also super freaking out in a really fabulous way. And it's because I haven't been able to, really do my art and perform and do the things that normally I do and normally I love to do for so long. And when the demic hit, I was full of wisdom in that I knew it was not going to be over right away, and I did not completely go back and forth and set myself up for failure, like, oh, I'll just try and put this on, and oh, I can't because restrictions. Oh, I'll do this. Oh, restrictions. No. Literally, since the time that it started, I was like, okay, I'm gonna hunker down and I'm gonna really focus, and I created a workshop that I'm still working on creating and will hopefully put on very soon, called Finding Authenticity in Your Creativity, because I felt like that's what I was doing for 2 years, was finding my own authenticity in my creativity. What did I want to do? When everything was being, lifted and there were no restrictions, what was the thing? What was the art that was going to make me excited and want to go back into the world? And so I created all these things and chose to go on YouTube. Lady Beastie did not start off as Lady Beastie. She started off as something completely different. It was like, oh my God, I had so many names, and then celebrities kept taking them. Like, I had Becoming for a while, and then I was like, oh, Michelle Obama put out a book, Becoming. Okay, so I guess I'm not doing that. So it took a while to find that creative authenticity and whatnot. And now I am at the stage where I am sending out press releases and booking a show, and I put out my first video, Lady Beastie video, on the YouTube. Like, oh my God, all these things. I'm literally sweating as it's happening, because it's exciting, because I'm excited to share, and also because it's super brand new. And so, like everything, when you're an artist, you have no idea, I have no idea what the response is going to be, and if I'm just, living some crazy artist fantasy in my head that this feels good and right and true and will, I guess, get me to a place that I want to go with my art in my life and my career. Well, my hair, you might notice my hair. So we got a haircut finally. This is bedhead. I'll make it better for you. I just wanted to hop on here quick because I wanted to say hi. But it's better, isn't it? This is way more me. Oh my God, to have more pink. Anyway, I did vlog. It's gonna be probably one of the worst hair video vlogs you've ever seen. Like, I don't know how there's going to be a worse hair video vlog, but anyway, that's coming out soon. And then I tried to do this whole cinematography, beautiful walk, let's get better at my camera skills kind of vlog, which is what I am currently working on, which is why it is taking me forever. And I did good learning in that it is not exciting. I am not having the best time of editing. And for some people, they might really like it. And you know what? I'm gonna like having the video once I have it, because I'm not gonna be here. And so to get to go back and, be like, oh yeah, that was lovely, and remember when we did that, that's going to be nice to have. So I am working on finishing that, but Probably this is actually going to get out first, because I'm just going to drop it because I'm just excited, and it doesn't need to be a whole thing. It's just a little whole thing. And wow. I've had a few people reach out to me, and I am very much like this too, which is funny. Okay, what am I trying to say? Sometimes I don't like reading either. That's what I'm trying to say. I think I maybe have some mild dyslexia that's never been diagnosed. It's a thing. As I get older, I'm like, oh, maybe all these are all actual reasons that this happens, and not just me saying, hey, I think my brain works differently, or isn't it odd that this happens, and whatnot. I understand reading for me can be really difficult, which is interesting because very often I write on my blog, but I think the act of writing is different from the act of reading, so that turns it into a whole different situation. Point being, I have had people say that they prefer a speaking format, whether or not they are going and reading my blogs. You know, because sometimes my blogs can be pretty hefty. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I blog very on the regular on forstmedia.ca. I'm not on the socials. I decided to go with an old school, new school website, and actually am really thankful and overwhelmed in the past little bit. The site's not even a year old. I haven't even been doing it for a year. And when I started it and with that idea of I am all in. It doesn't matter if I only have 1 or 2 people for a couple of years who come visit my site. That's okay. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for me. And just recently, my friend Johanna, who has Trailblazer's website, if you're looking for someone fabulous, I don't know how busy she wants to get because she's fabulous. She spilled me some numbers, and I was taken back and flabbergasted and very grateful and overwhelmed. And if anything, it just made me want to up my game, which is a great thing. That's a super great thing. However, I do acknowledge that not everybody wants to read things. Sometimes they want to listen, so you could be doing dishes or whatever. Podcast. Everybody has a podcast. I'm not saying I'm going to do a podcast. I thought about doing a podcast, obviously, and maybe that might be something in the future, but right now I'm very overwhelmed with already my 2 YouTube channels and my live show I'm putting together and my blogging that I do on my website. Feels good. Feels like enough currently. I thought, oh God, my nose is itchy. First, isn't my hair better? It still has let's bring that down. Let's bring that down. Oh, look at that. Woo, this is bedhead. Isn't this better? This is better than what it was, man. Woo, better bedhead. Anyway, I just released this similar information on my website in a blog format that I am now going to say hi and give you in a quick vlog format. Why not? We're trying things. This is about learning, trying, and growth. So let's give it a go. This is for all y'all out there that maybe this is a more palatable way to spend some time with me than having to read. On my blog today, and what I'm going to vlog here for you about, is I was getting into that I got a new streaming service. For some of you, this is not a big deal. I know some people, they have all the streaming services. I do not have all the streaming services. I have been relying solely on the Flix and the Tube for all my streaming for the pandemic. It has been kind of intense. There have been things that I have missed out on. However, I do watch my Survivor. Yes, I love Survivor in my celebrity harem game, which I will not explain at this time, but at some point, well, we call it celebrity harem. I used to date Jeff Probst for a number of years. It was fabulous. He's a great guy. My goodness, has that man aged. I'm not saying he hasn't had work done, but he has aged in a great way. Hello. So I love me Survivor. I can watch that on globaltv.com for 6 days after it airs. So that's fabulous. I am having disgruntledness at HGTV because my Island of Bryan, which I super love. I love watching Island of Bryan. They have made sign-in only, so it is no longer free content. So unimpressed with that. But the main news, the big dish, is that mihijo, that's right, mihijo, I have been, yo estudio España de España, the clase de España, and Duolingo. I've been taking some Spanish and Duolingo because eventually I want to go to Mexico. I want to go there. I want to be in Mexico. So it's a good thing to do. Learn some Spanish. Just side note, it's a really interesting thing learning languages because I feel like you have to believe that you are a person who can speak another language. And maybe that doesn't make any sense, but it's like I've never envisioned or imagined that I would be able to speak a different language. I think growing up in a time when there wasn't cell phones and there wasn't all these things, it was like, well, how are you going to do that? You're either going to have to go to the country or take some university course or something like that. But now that there's apps and all these things and it's way more accessible, it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe this is a possibility for me. But I still have this thing in my brain that has decided that I'm not maybe smart enough or whatever, that like I can't picture myself being like, oh, listen to me speak Spanish, I'm so good at it. And yet at the same time, I do hope to get there and I am working on it. Putting it out there. It's a weird thing. I don't know. Do you find that? Maybe you don't. If you find that, maybe leave a comment about your experiences with learning other languages. Anyhow, back to entertainment. For a long time, that's all I've had in terms of my streaming. But then Mihijo, as I was saying, he went in and he got the Disney Plus. Yes, he did. Now, if any of you know me, you know that I am not a corporate fiend and I am not one to, like, for example, my book, my political, well, we call it political porn, if you're curious. The Breeding Hut is not on Amazon, and it would probably do much better if it was, but I'm not going there. I have never purchased anything off the Amazon. These are the moral choices that I make, and so I know the Netflix is not necessarily the best, but it felt like maybe it was maybe more than Disney Orphans much, like Diz Plus. I never even dizzed my son Diz movies because I was like, you know what, they have this orphan agenda. I don't even know what's going on with the kind of whatever that corporation is trying to get all programmed into our little brains. But it's something and it's weird. When Mihijo got the D+, I was excited, but I was also like, oh my god, my morals, because that means I am clicking. By giving my clicks, I am giving my support. However, being a Star Wars fan, and yes, I have lots of opinions about all the, are they canon or are they not? Being a Star Wars fan, I was curious and excited to check out The Mandalorian, which was sort of the primary reason that Mihijo also got the D+, was for the sweet Mando. Turned out really well. We watched the Mando. Mihijo even watched it with us, which was like, so awesome. And I know there's been a million reviews and everybody has their reviews, but do they have this review? Did this happen to them? Does this happen to you? How about leave a comment if this does happen to you? Because I've had this happen to me before, big time. What am I speaking of? Well, it's that thing where you like the characters more even than the people playing them. Does that happen to you? So, for example, Pedro Pascal is a very handsome, very attractive man. Absolutely. Something about that Mandalorian. Sexy. Maybe it's his fatherliness towards Grogu. Maybe it's that part of us that wants to help rescue him from the cult and free his head, or that how much experience does he have even making out with ladies because he's wearing that helmet. So that could be an exciting thing, and then when I see Pedro Pascal, I'm like, no, he's attractive, but the Mandalorian, oh my gosh, so attractive. Whew. And I had the same thing happen to me with The Witcher. Love The Witcher. Something about the grunting, perhaps, and how much I love The Witcher and all the grunting. But Henry Cavill, same thing. He is an extremely attractive, handsome man. And that is fine and fabulous, but The Witcher, there is something about The Witcher. Yes, even with that wig, ooh, that is just hey now, ooh. My blog had to do with a lot of entertainment stuff. There's other little bits in there, but that was the gist, and that was the main gist that I was curious about and wanted to report back on, was if you've ever had that happen where, or for example, like Wonder Woman. That's another great example. Gal Gadot, she's gorgeous, like the whole thing. But Wonder Woman is a whole next level of hot. And I know she's a superhero. I super get, and I know that she's a superhero, but like, still, it's just, there's something different going on there. And it's not just the costume and hair and makeup. I don't know. It's like a vibe, I guess. I also have been giving Moon Night a go, or Celeb Hollywood Harem game that we play. I've dated Oscar Isaac in the past in that game, and so I was curious. I was like, I'll check out some Moon Knight, and I don't even Marvel Universe very much because, I don't know, it's just not my jimmy jam the way I love me some Scando sci-fi. If you know, you know. I don't necessarily have like a review for Moon Knight nor a recommendation, but they put it out every Wednesday, so it is kind of like being old school and actually watching a show weekly as opposed to just like diving in and binging and then that's all you watch until you finished it. It's like it's that old school experience of like you have to just wait every week. Normally, I would wait till the whole series was out and then just watch all the way through it, but I'm kind of digging this experience of like, you know, just checking it out once a week. It's a thing. What I want to say about that is that if old Oscar Isaac's there can have the accent that he does on that big of a scale on Disney P, I feel like Hilda the Happy Gardener she's fine in her lane. You go, Hilda. You wanna be British when you garden with your amazing British accent? Girl, you go. Because if old Oscar I can do that, well then Hilda can do what she up to. And also, if Disney Plus and Moon Knight think that they can pull off a voiceover the way they are, I feel like all us YouTube vloggers, and even I will put myself in there, even though I have just started, we can all, you know, do whatever voiceover situation we want to voice over. Thanks for checking in and hanging out with me and spending some time. This has just been a quick little, you know what, I'm trying things. I'm still trying different things, but I feel like I'm talking to the camera better. This is a win. If you feel like I am talking to the camera better than I have been, even if you feel like I haven't been, I would so appreciate if you give a thumbs up, a little like-a-do, a little subscribe, maybe hit that bell notification so that you know when I post new videos. I know I'm beginning, I know that I know all these things, but I am committed, I am here. So you can feel like I'm not just gonna disappear and go away. No, in fact, this is the non-interesting part of just learning how to vlog that I am up to. I'm gonna be traveling. I have a live show booked for April 30th, a live Lady Beastie, story time with Lady Beastie show. So I'm gonna vlog that. I have exciting things coming up. Right now is just the interim and me figuring out what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna do it. So I appreciate you stopping in and checking out and hanging out and being in positive. Danke. So super mucho. Danke. Super mucho. We'll see you next time. Bye.